Right now.
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 Because it's time to write now.
Right now.
Right
Right now.
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 Because it's time to write now.
Right now.
Right
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
right now.
Welcome, my friends, to another Monday update stream, our first one of the fall. And let me tell you, we have some exciting things to talk about today. We're going to be hopping into quite a number of things, including a brand new stream format that we are launching this Saturday, something that I'm putting together to help you finishing your book and getting that much closer to being done, while also learning a thing or two in the process so you can save money. In addition, we're also going to be touching on the eagerly anticipated, our new upcoming and next writing competition for the fall, Freaky Friday, is finally returning. And I have an announcement. We're going to be getting into that. We're also going to be touching upon Faded Fantasy and some upcoming workshops that we have, both for channel members and non-channel members alike. Welcome, my friends, to the WriteNow community. I'm so happy to see you here. For those of you who don't know, I'm Kaufman, daily writing streamer, and I'm just on a mission to help you finish your book. With over 615 consecutive writing streams, over 215 stories critiqued, and 160,000 word story in the making, I am taking you along the journey as I try to write this book because I love the writing process. So come join us because we're going to start in just a few minutes. I'll let everybody hop into the stream. By the way, great to see all you guys. Courtney, welcome. Susan, Calvin. Yeah, Calvin, you're like tired, almost done with work for today, but had a productive writing sprint yesterday. I'm so jealous, by the way. I wanted to write so badly yesterday, but it's just one of those weekends. I need to not plan too many crazy things so I can continue to focus on making progress with Scarecrow. But I have been pretty proud over the past, I want to say about week or two. I'd say about weeks since we've gone to the fall, all of my writing sprint streams have been much longer. And that's something that I'm going to continue to carry on in the weeks and months to come when I'm writing, longer times that I'm spending writing, so that way I can make more substantial progress. So, yay. Hey, what's up, Nell and White's here. Welcome, my friends. White's here. I grabbed 1K words today. Dang, I'm so jealous, guys. You guys are all making more progress. I absolutely love that. I love that. We have some, that's awesome that you guys are making progress. I really want to be. And for anybody who does want to get some writing in today, today's going to focus on announcements. But if any of you are wanting to do some more writing sprints, I'm actually going to be joining Holly on her channel right after the stream. So if you want to get some writing sprints in, you can come join us over on Holly's channel. And usually we do 3 writing sprints, but I'll be joining Holly after the stream to get some writing in as well. But I had way too much to talk about today. Way too much on my mind to share with you, the community. All right, let me just throw this advertisement in. Hope everyone's doing good at the beginning of their Monday. It sounds like all you guys are making some solid progress. I'm like, that is where I want to be with Scarecrow. All right, and I'm going to throw up. Let me announce this in the Discord, and then we'll get into it. I feel like this Monday, what's the 8th, is a really, really great start to the week. I feel like we got quite a lot coming up. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to throw this here. Okay, perfect. Wanted to drop that over in the Discord, give some of our Discord friends a chance to hop on and join. So very, very exciting. I am definitely definitely in the vibe. And there's a couple of these things I've really been looking forward to announcing and talking through with you guys. So while we are getting into it, let me throw up the schedule for September. We'll get the schedule up here as we are hopping into our updates. I was like, let's see, I'm gonna make that a little smaller. I don't think I need that quite as big. Let's get the chat. There we go. I like that a little bit more. Maybe. I'll see how I feel about that. All right, and let's get the screen share going. Yes. Okay. So for those of you who have not seen already, and just one moment. Okay, there we go. I was like, my screen was messing with me. I'm like, I knew I saw it on my end, but you guys were not seeing it. Okay, so we got this right here. All right, perfect. So here, I got this. Here is starting with the September schedule. All right, perfect. And I have that queued. I'm like, do I like that on the side? Maybe. You know, kind of caught been playing around with how I feels about the layout midstream. You know, all in a day's work. All right, I think I'm actually gonna like this a little bit more. I was like, you guys don't need to see me that badly. There we go. Perfect. I think I like this much more. Kaufman's being indecisive today. All right. There we go. Get more of the chat up there. So with that, okay, so like I said, so this is the schedule that we have for September. We got some fun things coming up for those of you who have not seen it already. We are already on the 8th week 2. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, let me make sure. Let's see, we got that. All right. So for those of you who don't know, essentially the way that I've been framing doing the channel membership stuff and then doing the stuff for that's non-channel membership, so stuff that's not behind a paywall, I've really been trying to figure out how do I find a good balance between free and paid. And the way that I look at it is I will continue to do new live streams and videos that will never be behind a paywall. Things like the story and critique show. And then there were other specialty streams that I did last year for those of you who remember the Pitch Fest, for those of you who remember things like, what was that? We had the first page critique, we had the cover design stream, and so much more. So I'm wanting to get back into doing those more consistently because those were free and open to the community. When I think about the channel membership stuff, for those of you who are channel members, I am basically offering an early access screening to the videos. The way I look at it is it's basically you get the access to the workshop during the live experience for the specific 1 or 2 workshops a month. And then probably anywhere between 2 to 6 weeks after that, I'll upload the videos for the public. So then people still get the value. I know one of the biggest requests from people who really wanted to check out one of our workshops was the Story Bible. I know, because Story Bibles are super helpful. So I'll be launching that one. I'll be launching that soon because I know that one was a popular request. I know everybody who watched and joined in on the channel members one got a lot of value out of it. And then, so things that we have coming up, right? So I ask myself, for writers who are ready to ready to invest in themselves and put in a little money outside of the free experience, I ask myself, what are things that I can offer to really make it worthwhile for writers? So I like to do things like coaching sessions. If you're at the student tier, basically this is just a one-on-one way for you to be able to hop in and get feedback either on your writing journey or on your story directly. Our next upcoming workshop is going to be about foreshadowing. So foreshadowing is going to be a channel members workshop that's coming up this week. Foreshadowing is one of my favorite things that I love to do. So I'm definitely looking forward to diving into this. We'll be having our monthly critique right now, which is our channel members critique group, will be coming up next weekend. And let me tell you, everyone always gets so much value out of the critique group. I am so happy about that. And then later in the month, we'll have another coaching office hours, and then we'll be wrapping up the month with a POV and narration strategy workshop. So that's something that I'll be doing for our YouTube channel members. And then I'll be making those workshops available to the community probably in October. So yeah, super excited. If there's workshops or there's things that you guys want to see, let me know. Drop a comment, whether you're here in the chat or in the Discord. Awesome. So I wanted to get through the channel member stuff. That one's straightforward, and I know you guys are already familiar with some of that. So let's get into the next thing. So we'll hop into Fated Fantasy. So for those of you guys who submitted really great work. For anybody who's not familiar, Fated Fantasy was our last writing competition, which was awesome, by the way. We had so many writers competing. We had so many submit. We had a lot of great guest judges, and we had a lot of volunteers helping with putting it together so that Mr. Crow could make an appearance or two. So it was such a fun opportunity. And all of the semifinalists just finished submitting their stories about a week ago. So I'm hard at work reviewing the stories now. I'll have more details for the Fated Fantasy Anthology when it's ready to go live. What I can share is we will be launching 2 versions, similar to how we did Freaky Friday. We'll launch we'll launch the ebook version first, which is going to have all the semifinalist stories. And then we will launch the paperback version, which will have a couple extra goodies that's just super cool. So those, I'm asking myself if I'll launch them at the same time, probably cascade them out by about a week or 2. But yeah, so more to come once I have dates, but I'm very excited. And then for anyone who missed out, whether you missed out on our cover design for Fated Fantasy, or whether you missed out on the competition itself, it's all linked down in the YouTube description down below if you want to go check it out after the stream. All right, and that was just a quick announcement. Nothing super new with Fated Fantasy, but I wanted to make sure to touch upon that. Now, we have 2 more things. So let's touch on, we have a brand new specialty stream this weekend, and we also have the upcoming Freaky Friday. So let's hop into Freaky Friday first, because I know that's on everybody's mind. And then we'll be doing the super cool stream that's coming up this weekend. I'm so stoked about it. So hopping into Freaky Friday. So for those of you who joined us last year, Freaky Friday was our first competition. This was the very first writing anthology competition that we did last year. It was so much fun. We had so many spooky stories submitted. We had so much fun with the live readings and the games and everything else that we put together. Freaky Friday, I will still be hosting it probably that same Halloween weekend. I've been going back and forth, and I of course would love everyone's thoughts. I've been going back and forth and ask myself about rebranding it slightly, since I don't think I'm going to host it on Friday. I think it actually makes more sense generally to host live streams on Saturdays, Sundays. And I'm like, okay, well, if I don't host the streams on Saturday, if I don't host it on Friday, is it still Freaky Friday? I was like, I don't know, spooky Saturday. So that's still something that's on my mind. But for this year, for Freaky Friday 2025, I went back and forth and asked myself, what will I do about the Freaky Friday competition this year? We did a lot of learning from our first Freaky Friday 2024 and a lot of learnings from the Fated Fantasy competition. There were some great things that worked out really well. There were some missed opportunities. I pulled back and I really thought about it over the summer, and I asked myself, what is the goal of a writing competition? What is my goal? What do I want to achieve for you and the community when I put on these writing competitions? My ultimate goal is to give you more opportunities to write and also give writers opportunities to get published. When I framed the competition format, I was like, okay, so if people are going to show up to the stream, they're going to show up because there needs to be some type of winner. And I think there were both highs and lows for that. I think there were definitely some highs and lows for doing a working towards a number 1 or 2 winning spot that does and can work out well with more tweaking. At the same time, I'm also hard at work trying to get through Scarecrow, and I recognize the more complexity I continue to add to my schedule, the longer it takes me to finish the book. So, with that in mind, I decided I am going to move forward with Freaky Friday this year, but I'm going to make it less complex. I'm going to make it less complex operationally, so that way I can still achieve what we want to achieve with giving you an opportunity to write, while not making it as big of a haul on my part with all like the advertising and the logistics and the judging and everything. So what we're going to be doing this time around, instead of framing it around as a competition for writers submitting to win the top spots, we're going to frame it around the anthology, because I think that has always been the strength of the first two competitions. I think that one of the biggest wins and one of the biggest value propositions that a lot of writers end up entering is because they want a published author credit, or they just want to be inspired to write a story and then hear it read aloud. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be opening submissions starting next week. So next Monday is going to be the official opening for Freaky Friday. Next Monday is when Freaky Friday submissions will go live. Similar to Faded Fantasy, I will announce the specific details on what the submission requirements are on Monday. That way, everyone has a fair chance to submit and get a chance for their story to be involved in the anthology. With the way that I'm going to do the format this year, instead of writers working towards becoming a winner, the live stream is going to be about revealing the ones who are making it into the anthology. So it's going to be, I'm fine-tuning it a little bit. We're still going to have we'll still have a lot of similar elements, but I want it to feel less like a 1 or 2 people win, and I want it to feel like more of a group win, a more collaborative community endeavor. And then for people who don't get it, I want to minimize those feelings of people feeling defeated or people feeling a loss for not making it into the anthology or the live stream. So I'm continuing to fine tune that, because as always with Right Now, what I want to achieve is I want to inspire all types of writers. And I think there's a lot of different ways to go about that with our competitions. So yeah, those are a couple things that come to mind. I will be opening up submission requirements. I will be revealing that next Monday on Monday's update stream. But just start thinking about what spooky stories come to mind. What spooky ideas, what creepy, spooky, horror, thriller, mystery, what types of stories come to mind? Are you ready to scare the community with your next flash fiction story for the 2025 Freaky Friday competition? Awesome. So I'll reveal more details about Freaky Friday next Monday. So cool. Now, I know I saw a couple of you hop in the chat in between. Mama Maggie, welcome. Lurking with a migraine day, here to support the stream. Hopefully nothing is too crazy for you. Susan, you said, Freaky Friday, could you submit any genre? Great question. So, and I think I saw Courtney mention, so Freaky Friday, could you submit any genre? There's going to be specific genre requirements. What I can say is, Susan, recommend go check out last year's Freaky Friday competition. Let me Let me pull up. I'll throw last year's Freaky Friday competition down below. So give me just 1 second. I'll throw it down in the chat down below so that way you guys can find it easily. It's basically on the front page of the YouTube channel, so it is actually pretty easy to find. But for anybody who wants to check it out and get an idea, and maybe you didn't see it last year. All right, perfect. And all right, so I just got did here. I put Freaky Friday. All right, perfect. So I just added Freaky Friday to the links down in the YouTube description. If you're fresh, you'll be able to find it down there. But that way, if you want to check out last year, essentially what I would recommend is check out what the competition looked like last year to kind of give you an idea. And then what I will be announcing the submission requirements and the specifics on Monday when submissions go live. So that way every writer has a fair chance to make it into the live stream and the anthology. So exactly. It's, as always, my goal is to try to make things as fair as possible. What I can say is that the submission requirements won't be as easy as they were last Freaky Friday, but they won't be as difficult as they were for Faded Fantasy. There's going to be, I'm going to say that it will probably be a little bit of a middle ground in between. I felt like last Freaky Friday, our first competition, the requirements were super easy. Faded Fantasy, the requirements were a little bit more complex. So I'm going to be doing it in the middle. So more to come for next Monday when we announce. So super excited. Hopefully everyone's like ready to write, get their scares on. All right, Gara, you're like lurking while watching an autocrit webinar. Welcome, my friend. Always glad to have you in here. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Rach? Welcome. Hopefully all is well. Can't believe October is here. I know, Nil. Excited for October. Halloween is here. It's around the corner. Scary season is upon us. I am stoked. Who's already thinking about their Halloween costumes? I was like, who should I be this year? Oh, man. Hi, Angela. Thanks for stopping by, my friend. Really appreciate that. Emily, Cap, welcome. So glad to see all you here. And for anyone who's just hopping into the stream, just make sure at the end that you go back and you watch the replay because I've gone through a couple of the announcements already, and we've been making some excellent progress. I have one, and we're about to hop into our major announcement. So, one thing I am actually really happy about with the writing competitions is that I feel like, I want to say about 30 to 40% of the writers who submitted a flash fiction story between Freaky Friday and between Faded Fantasy. So let's say that was about 12, 24. So let's just say about 30 writers. So let's just say about 30 or so writers submitted a story for one of our writing competitions. Out of those 30, I want to say that about 33% went on to extend those original flash fictions into longer stories. And they've gone on to become more in-depth, or they've improved those stories themselves. So I just want to say I'm so proud, and I really hope everyone's going to be submitting when Freaky Friday launches next Monday. Okay, so on that note, who's ready for our big announcement for our exciting brand new stream that we are launching this Saturday? So I've had this stream on my mind for a while, and I've really been asking myself, how can I do something new? Something that feels kind of similar to what we do with some of our other streams, but different and still giving a different value proposition. So I am so pleased and so happy to present the brand new specialty stream that I'm launching this Saturday is, let me give a drum roll. the Story Edit Now. So I am launching Story Edit Now this Saturday. What does this mean? This is essentially going to be an editing show different than the critique stream. So for those of you who hop on and join us with the critique stream, the story and critique show is a format where I generally, you guys know, I do a live reading and then I do a live critique similar to an alpha or a beta reading. Story Edit Now is going to finalize and focus on the editing process of it. And the cool thing is, it is absolutely free. It is absolutely free. So this is open to all the entire community. Let me pull up the form here. So this is going to be open to the entire writing community. Story Edit Now, it's going to be this Saturday. And I will drop the submission link for anybody who wants to go. Oh, let me see. It is maybe. All right, there we go. I was like, I knew it would get me the shorter one. Okay, so the editing stream, I'll go over this with you and let me drop it in the chat. Let's see, Story Edit Now, live stream, submission. Perfect. So for anybody who wants to submit, it's going to be this Saturday. Essentially, this is free editing. I'm going to be offering a free editing experience for every writer who submits because as somebody who is an editor and also a writer, editing is expensive. I know it's expensive and I know not everybody can afford it. Average editing rates in the industry, you're generally planning on spending an upwards of thousands, above, 2, 3, 4,000, depending on what type of editing you're needing. Now, I myself try to be more affordable, but I recognize not everybody has that investment yet. So I wanted to create a space where writers can receive free editing. So what this is going to look like, so this is the newest live stream that I'm putting on the WriteNow channel, where I'm going to be taking real submissions and I'm going to walk through the editing process live on air. Writers are going to be getting personalized feedback. Viewers are going to be able to learn just by watching, and everyone is going to walk away with sharper storytelling skills. So what this is going to look like and how this is going to differ from the critique stream. The critique stream really focuses more on the live reading aspect of it and then my initial thoughts. The editing stream is really going to focus on getting into the weeds on a page-by-page basis. My goal is to get through more pieces of through more writers' pieces on an editing level faster. So I'm cutting out the live reading portion of this specific segment. What this is going to do is we're just going to get into it. So because of that, I'm asking writers are going to be submitting smaller portions. So for uploading and formatting requirements, I'm asking that writers submit no more than 5 pages double-spaced. And then these other ones are straightforward. You can expect to receive 1 to 5 pages of an edited story after the stream. So you're going to receive the story, you're going to receive it in your mailbox, or if it was a Google Doc link right after the stream ends, or maybe I'll do it during. We'll see how I feel. The time and how much I will edit per piece will vary as I kind of play around with and feel how the format feels. Now, what type of edit will each story undergo? So, part of my goal with this, and I want everybody to be clear, one of the reasons that I really wanted to do an editing stream, something that revolves around editing specifically, is because so many times I get writers in the community and I talk to writers who say that they need editing, but a lot of times a lot of writers ask for certain types of edits that they don't actually need, or they need a different type of edit, or maybe they're just not sure. So I want to be able to help you and show you the community that while you're working through your story, how do you know what type of edit your manuscript needs? You're going to be able to watch me editing other stories, and you're going to learn as we're going to look at excerpts, and we're going to be looking at, all right, does the story need developmental editing? Does it need line editing? Does it need copy editing? Or does it need proofreading? Now, there's some other variations generally in the industry, but I like to just finalize it at those 4. I think those 4 are the clearest. Line editing also has some other names for it, but I forgot what it is right now. But I want to make it as easy as possible. So that way, when you're prepared to take it to an editor, whether it's me or someone else, like I don't care about that right now. What I care about is you learning how to better edit your stories. So when you're revising, you can cut down on words, you can save yourself money, and then you can be you can get that much closer to getting your stuff published. So that's going to be the other part of it. Part of it, people who submit will get their stuff edited for free. People who are watching, any of you guys who show up, you're going to be able to learn more about editing. And fair warning, I wouldn't say I'm the most perfect editor in the world, but what I've done is I've been consistent along with my editing style. And I am not afraid to show editing on screen because I believe in how we can improve our stories. So I'm very, very excited about that. And let's see, I think Courtney, I saw you had a question. Are you replacing, let's see, I'm now, where to go? Yeah, so add it now, wasn't it Saturday? Yes, so story edit now. Story edit now is going to be this Saturday. It's going to be this Saturday. September 13th. So story edit now will be this Saturday, September 13th. I was like, I should probably put that somewhere. Let's just put that here. That is in preview mode. I'm going to do this right now so I do not forget. Story edit now, submissions, next. Story edit now episode, or live stream 1. Number 1 will be Saturday, September, what's that, 13th? Yep, Saturday, September 13th. Perfect. There you go. Now it's on there. And then I'll add it to the YouTube description as well, so that way everyone can find it. And then let's see, Courtney, you had a question. Carrie, like as a fellow editor, I'm excited about this new editing stream. Absolutely. And I think this is something that will help both editors and non-editors alike, is actually really my goal. Let's see, Courtney, are you replacing the critique show with this? I am not. So the critique show is going to continue to be its trademark show. It's going to continue to be its own, I'm going to keep doing the critique show. Our next story and critique show will be Saturday, September 20th. So the critique show is going to continue to be a bi-weekly show that happens every other Saturday, where writers can submit for a live reading and a live critique. The way that I like to think about it is the critique show is really when you're submitting things that might not be as refined or might not be as polished, and you're needing feedback, or you want to hear it read aloud. Story edit now is more about the piece might be a little further along and you need editing. You're ready for it to be editing. You're ready for us to start breaking it apart on a sentence by sentence level, on a sentence by sentence structure, or maybe you're stuck. Maybe you're stuck at a part of the story and you're like, hey, I don't know if this needs developmental help, copy, line, or so on and so forth. So great question, Courtney. Great question. And then like our other submission forms, I'll just ask you a couple questions, right? So things that I can be aware of. All these are good. I also like to ask, what type of editing do you think it needs? And then something that I like to just be aware of in asking writers, has it gone through an alpha beta reading or been reviewed by someone other than yourself? If it was me, I should probably put an option if it was done on the critique stream before. Yeah, so that's what I have so far. This will be the first one. I'm super excited. Cap, you're like, oh boy, I can already see that line. I know. And this is, yeah. So this is something that's really interesting, Kat, because I've really considered this before. I think the story and critique stream works with the format I do with the Q format, but I recognize that the bigger the channel grows, right? The more the more demand. And eventually, I'll probably have to adjust it. Otherwise, people will never be able to get their stuff critiqued. But for now, I'm going to keep the story and critique submission process the same. In terms of the story edit now submission process, I'm going to try out a couple things and kind of see what works. But for anybody who wants their story edited, or let's say you already know that you need editing, you should submit right now, because I do know this will be popular, because we all know everybody needs editing. So like y'all should submit right now. Oh man. I think my guess is because of I anticipate with how many people want editing, this will probably be a much higher demand. So if the demand is as much as I'm thinking it's going to be, I'll probably do some either randomized format, like maybe we'll do a lot of things that I'll see big like content creators do is they'll do like random name drawings is generally what feels fair, but I'll play it by year based on the number of submissions. And once again, Story Edit Now is a brand new format. It's always a learning experience. Y'all have shown up to the Story and Critique show. Story and Critique show, we just did, what episode did we just do? This past Story and Critique show was episode 49. Wow, 50 episodes. I've spent 48 episodes fine-tuning the story and critique stream to get it to where it's at today. If you go all the way back and you look at the first episode, there was a lot more opportunities and learnings for the format that I had to figure out and adjust over time to make it as just as efficient and effective as possible. And I'm sure 50 episodes from now, there'll be a way more adjustments to as it continues to evolve. So this will be the first Story Edit Now. I'm super excited. Yeah. And by the way, Takip, I saw you hop in. Welcome. Nil, Cool Idea Kaufman, always supporting writers. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. And I knew it was high time to do another brand new thing that was free and wasn't behind a paywall. I'm really trying to find the balance of free and paid so that way I can do all the things. Now I can do all the free stuff while also still trying to make a living. Hey, what's up, Takipa? Querying is also very important. I don't have expertise querying, so it's not something that I touch on at this point in time. But I'm sure once I get through Scarecrow, and if I do go the querying route at some point, I'm sure I'll probably touch upon querying. But if y'all in the community want to know more about writing query letters and getting an agent, I can always bring on another podcast guest if that's something that you guys really care about. Let me know if that's something you want to know. If you want to know more about the querying process, ins and outs, and I can always find a guest who has some expertise, since I don't have much knowledge in that area at this point in time. I know everybody's kind of at a different level, isn't it? So I'm super excited. Like I said, Story Edit Now will be this Saturday. It will be this Saturday, and it is going to be fire. It's going to be firepower. That's what it's going to be. Okay, so I'm just adjusting this in the description so everyone can find it. And I was like, all right, in a perfect world, I had this prepped before. So upcoming writing events, Story Edit Now. September 13th is a Saturday. September 13th. All right, and then we're going to get the responder link. Maybe not. Let me get this responder link again. All right, so I got that Submission, submit now. Perfect. All right, so I got that linked down in the YouTube description. So for anybody who missed out, it's Story Edit Now should be linked down in the YouTube description with the details. If you don't see it, just refresh your screen and you'll see it. So awesome. We got some awesome stuff. Hey, what's up, Kat? Welcome, my friend. Really great to see you. Hope everything is going well. Yeah, and I mean, with querying to keep, I mean, there's definitely a whole process with writing query letters. And I mean, to my knowledge, the reason that querying letters exist is because agents don't have time to read through an entire manuscript. Think about it. If you're an agent and you get hundreds of people sending you manuscripts, and those manuscripts are probably 90 plus pages, agents don't have time for that. So they have to have a process and a system that narrows it down. A query letter, in my to my knowledge, is very similar to like a cover letter or like a resume, except it's about you and your book instead. So I totally get it though. Awesome. So for those of you who missed out, we went over a couple of really cool announcements today. We went over the YouTube channel membership stuff, so the events that are coming up for the rest of the month. This weekend's channel membership event is a workshop about foreshadowing. And then at the end of the month, we're going to be doing POV and narration. So it's an early access live stream filming for channel members. And then the videos will be uploaded at a later point in time for the YouTube channel. And then, so I'm super excited about that. Critique Right Now members, it's going to be this weekend. Hopefully y'all can join. I also made the critique group earlier in the day to make it a little bit more accessible, slightly earlier, tweaked it. We'll see if it helps out just a little bit. And then we also touched upon our Faded Fantasy announcement, the Freaky Friday announcement of I'm sure people are super excited about Freaky Friday. And of course, our brand new live stream Story Edit Now. Aww. Like, Cap, you're like, hey, please be careful not to exhaust yourself. That's a lot of work you're putting into us for free. Burnout is real. Aw. I appreciate that, Cap. I really do. It's interesting because I do a lot. I really do a lot in terms of all the things I do for the channel, and then things that I do that are paid versus non-paid. And I think for me, I try to find that balance of how do I find things that I can do for free to help the channel, and then how do I balance that with the paid stuff, so that way I can continue to grow the business and grow the brand and do all the things that I can say. I'm going to continue to do the free stuff, but whenever I need to take a break, what I'll do is I'll just do like a week of like non-planned streams, and I take a step back so that way I can focus on myself. I have been taking a break the last couple weeks, so I feel like I've been in a good spot allowing myself to take a break. I'll probably take another bit of a breather at the end of September before we get into the Freaky Friday stuff. So, yeah. But I appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Guys say this all the time. We know Kaufman around for a long time. I appreciate you guys. Awesome. So I feel pretty good about all of that. I feel like we were able to get through a good amount of updates. Let's see. I want to say tomorrow will be another daily writing stream, 2 Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. I'll be here. Come join us and we'll get in some writing tomorrow. And then today we are going to get, I'll be over on Holly's stream next. So for anybody who wants to get in some writing sprints today, I'll be joining Holly Davis over on her YouTube channel in about 10 minutes. So on that note, that's all that I got for you today, my friends. Let me go pull up Holly's channel for anyone who wants to come join. It's like, Here we go, my friend. So I'll just drop that in the chat. There's Holly's. There's the link to Holly's upcoming live stream. I'll be joining them in about 10 minutes. But on that note, that's all that I got for you today, my friends. So definitely come join us if you want to come get some writing sprints in. I'll be joined by Holly and Zara, and it's going to be great. I'm going to have a great time. So thank you all for joining. Definitely had some great updates. Next Monday, we'll be announcing the official Freaky Friday submission opening. Hope everyone submits. And that's all that I got for you. Like, when's the Scarecrow power scaling stream? Like, I need to do a 48-hour stream where I just power scale Scarecrow for 48 hours and get through it. It's coming up, my friends. Awesome. Thank you so much. And definitely, before you go, just make sure to tap that like button on the way out. Help us show the algorithm that writing streams are cool. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining. But unfortunately, that brings us to the end of the stream. Don't forget, words are wind, but stories are forever. And if you're looking for more stuff to watch, it's all linked down in the YouTube description down below. But thank you for joining. I'm Kaufman, and I'll catch you on the morrow. Stay creative, writers. Words are wind, but stories are forever. I'm Kaufman, and I'll catch you on the morrow. Stay creative, writers. It's time to write.
Right now.
Sorry.
Right now, not right now, but right now. Read now, right now.